At my week 5 versus Liam and the Dublin Drifblims, and he brought a team of Kieran Black, Roland Washington, Orkov, Grigas, Kroba, Espion. I brought Bishar, Dormaniton, Tarakian, Stormy, Megapidja, and Whimsicott. He leads out with his Kieran Black. I would lead off with my Bisharp. Turn 1, he switches out into Incineroar. Intimidating, proccing my Defiant, boosting my attack as I go for Rocks, because I feel Rocks is going to be super nice versus him. Here I decide to switch out as I don't really have a good way of touching the Incineroar. I go into my Terrakion as he fakes out, doing pitiful damage. Here he switches out into his Roland Wash. As I go for Stone Edge, I connect. I do a little bit less than half. I don't want to go for... I don't want to stay in, get burnt or anything. So I just switch out. Go into my Whimsicott. He reveals leftovers the turn before he defogs. So my rocks are gone again. He recovers a little bit more from leftovers as he withdraws into his Koffagrigus. So I go for Leech Seed. I switch out into my Bisharp. He predicts that goes for Hidden Power Fire. A fighting great play by him. He reveals to be leftovers. I recover a little bit of health from the Leech Seed. I predict him to switch out, so I believe I just go for Rocks again. I go straight up for knockoff because Koffagrigus is so annoying. I do 50%. I withdraw again. Go into Whimsicott once more. As he goes for Hydro Pump, connects, does a decent chunk to Whimsicott, but he's very low now. And he's finished out with a Giga Drain. And I know for sure now if I get Rocks up, they're gonna stay on the field because his Defogger is gone. He goes into Incineroar. And I don't want to stay in on the Incineroar. So I switch out. Go into my Mega Pidgeot because I feel Pidgeot isn't the greatest in the matchup as he U-turns, getting the momentum, predicting my switch, goes into Kieran Black. This screams Scarf to me, and I decide that Pidgeot isn't the greatest in the matchup, and it's good to see if he's Scarfed or not, so I stay in. So he goes for Fusion Bolt, going before my Pidgeot, confirming he's Scarfed. So I basically sack Pidgeot for info on the QRM. I go into my Whimsicott knowing I can take a hit, a Fusion Bolt pretty easily. He swaps out into the Koffagrigus again as I go for Leech Seed, missing unfortunately. And this miss will come back to bite me in the end of the battle actually, as I have to Leech Seed once again as he goes for Toxic Spikes. Something I did not want on my team. On my side of the field actually. But since if I remember correctly, I didn't bring hazard removal. I encore him into the T-spikes so that he has to T-spike again. So now he has 2 layers of T-spikes up. Oh, what? I have removal, but in form of Stormy, so as long as he has his Cophagrigus, I'm not getting rid of the T-spikes. And I'm back at full from Leech Seed. I decide to swap out into Stormy, expecting him to swap out. And he do swap out. He goes into the Crobat. I feel like I have a good... he U-turns because he's faster, of course. So I go for Rapid Spin. I want these T-spikes to be gone. He goes into his Cophagrigus. I Rapid Spin. Nothing happens. You get some lefties. I get some lefties. Yeah, you know the drill. So yeah, I decide to switch out. Go into my Bisharp, as I know Bisharp survives a Shadow Ball. And I decide that rocks are very nice versus his team, so instead of going for knockoff, I know this is my only chance to actually get off the rocks. So I go for stealth rocks. Get the rocks up, and I think I just sucker punch the Crobat here. Yeah, I sucker punch the Crobat, does over half, he U-turns. He kills me, I gain some momentum. And I have the rocks up as well. As he goes into Espeon. And I go into my Stormy. I'm natural cure, so that toxic disappears every time. And he switches into the Cophagrigus again as I go for Rapid Spin. I was contemplating actually recovering this turn, which would have been a better play since I would have gotten some health back. But yeah, in hindsight, it's always easy to see stuff in hindsight. And I take some more toxic damage. Yeah, and I decide to go for a toxic on my own. Getting this thing toxic is really nice in my opinion. As he finishes me off with Shadow Ball, I decided that I'm never gonna get this Rapid Spin off, and Cophagrigus is really the only thing that stands between me and victory. So getting it toxic is really nice. As I go into Whimsicott here, getting toxic myself, which isn't super fun. And I do believe, yeah, he switches into Espeon as I go for the C move, the Fairy C, to kill the Espeon. I think he predicted me to Leech Seed, so he wanted to bounce the seeds back. But yeah, I go for the Twinkle Tackle, knowing I just need to chip away at the Cophagrigus and I win the game. So he does a smart play of switching, even though I think he predicted a Leech Seed. But it turned out great anyways. The Espeon, in my opinion, didn't do too much in the game. He switches into Crobat. Crobat very low now. Of course, I don't want to take a Brave Bird or any poison type move. I switch into Terrakion. Terrakion is my main win con at the moment. He goes for Roost. Up to over half health again. Takes some toxic damage. He withdraws. He goes into the Coffee here. And I believe, yeah, I Stone Edge. I'm Scarfed. I do enough so that a second one will kill the Coffee. So if I go for Stone Edge here and connect, I think I just win the game. But I choke and switch into my Whimsicott as he goes for Pain Split, I believe. Yeah, Pain Split. Which puts him above half once again. He recovers a little bit from leftovers. So basically, if I would have gone for the Stone Edge and hit the Stone Edge, Coffee would have been dead. I then could have switched out my Terrakion, my Scarf Terrakion, outspeeds his entire team, and just by whittling down the Crowbot a little bit, I could sweep him with close combat, I could sweep him with close combat as the Incineroar, and the Crowbot would have been low enough. The Incineroar would have been low enough with the rocks, and would have gone better for me if I would have gotten rid of the Coffee right there and then. But I didn't, and it will end up costing me. He reveals to be Sea Brave Bird, just kills my Whimsicott with it. I go into Terrakion, knowing I'll kill the Crowbat with Stone Edge. I kill it with Stone Edge, hoping that he would once again switch into Coffee on the Stone Edge, but he didn't. Here he goes into the Coffee once again, and I switch out, expecting, which might have been dumb because I know he's gonna Pain Split. Like, what else is he gonna do? Yeah, as he Pain Splits and gets back a ton of health. I think it would have been better there as well, but I think I lost because my Darmanitan isn't Scarfed. And yeah, and here I do another misplay. I go for Fire Punch, which does less damage, removes my Sheer Force as well, so I take my Life Orb Recoil. As he goes for Pain Split, would have gone for Flare Blitz. I would have done more. I would have done damage to myself as well, to the point not the Coffee would have been a lower health total. So here he just switches out, preserve it, goes into his Incineroar. I Flare Blitz, and I do around 25%, and I die to toxic damage after the recoil. So here I go into my Terrakion, and since the ghost type is still there, I have to lock myself into Stone Edge for a chance to win at all. So I go for Stone Edge here. As he goes for Fake Out, he switches out into the Coffee as I go for Stone Edge. I kill the Coffee. I take a little bit more of toxic damage. He goes into Incineroar. Takes another round of Stealth Rocks. He can't switch in on rocks again. He is going to Fake Out. And I flinch, of course. I take some more toxic damage. And here I think he does a misplay by going Cure him here. If I crit the Stone Edge here, which I end up not doing, I win the game. No, I don't, because I died to poison. Yeah, it wasn't a misplay. What am I talking about? Yeah, he preserved the differential by going Curum there in the end. And yeah, that's it. Liam won from me not taking the risk of killing the Coffee Crews earlier. Really came down back to bite me. And yeah, I lost week 5. And see you next week for week 6. Hopefully I'm not going to be late anymore. And check out Liam's channel. It's going to be in the description. Yeah, bye guys. Don't forget to unsubscribe, leave a dislike, and block this channel. Sventon signing out. Peace.